Hey everyone, and welcome back to Story-Driven English. Do you ever feel that tiny explosion of panic in your chest when you realize your friend's birthday is next week? Suddenly, finding the perfect gift feels like mission impossible, right? Your mind goes blank, you start sweating, and you consider just giving them a high five and hoping for the best. Pause, laughs. Well, you're not alone. Today we have a story about exactly that struggle. It's funny, it's relatable, and it's packed with useful English vocabulary. If you want to improve your English while enjoying a good story, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss our weekly uploads. Ready? Let's dive into Alex's great gift adventure. Alex stared at the calendar hanging crookedly on his kitchen wall. A big red circle screamed silently around next Friday's date, Sarah's birthday. Panic, cold and sharp, began to prickle at the back of his neck. Sarah wasn't just any friend. She was Sarah, his partner in crime for movie marathons, his emergency contact, the person who knew exactly how much sugar he liked in his coffee without asking. And finding the perfect gift for Sarah? That was the annual challenge Alex dreaded more than assembling flat-pack furniture or admitting he still didn't know how to properly fold a fitted sheet. Why was it so hard? Sarah wasn't particularly picky, or at least she never said she was. She always greeted every gift with a bright, genuine smile and a warm, "Oh, Alex, you shouldn't have." But Alex wanted more than politeness. He wanted that flicker of pure joy, the "how did you know" gasp, the feeling that he'd truly nailed it. He wanted the gift to be thoughtful, unique, maybe even a little bit magical. Unfortunately, Alex's brain, when faced with the pressure of perfect gift selection, usually offered suggestions ranging from a slightly used tennis ball to a lifetime supply of paper clips. Utterly useless. He slumped onto his sofa, pulling out his phone. "Okay, brain," he muttered to himself. "Let's try logic. What is Sarah like?" He started scrolling through his mental Sarah database. She liked cats. Okay, good start. But what kind of cat-related gift? A cat t-shirt? Too cliché. A cat mug? He'd given her one 3 years ago. A real cat? Absolutely not. His landlord had a strict no-breathing creatures besides Alex policy. He briefly considered a giant, life-sized inflatable cat, imagined Sarah's polite but bewildered face, and quickly dismissed the ridiculous idea. He typed "unique gifts for friends" into the search bar. The internet responded with an avalanche of options. Within minutes, Alex felt completely overwhelmed. There were personalized star maps claiming to show the constellations on the night she was born. Slightly creepy. Subscription boxes for everything from exotic pickles to artisanal soaps. What if she hated pickles and soap? And countless gadgets promising to solve problems Sarah didn't even have. An automatic banana peeler? Really? He clicked on a link for experiential gifts. Maybe an experience was better than an object? Hot air balloon ride? Too expensive? Pottery class? Messy. And Alex suspected Sarah preferred admiring pottery to making it. Indoor skydiving? Alex shuddered just thinking about it. This was getting harder, not easier. He felt like he was drowning in a sea of potential, yet unsuitable presents. He spent a good hour browse, adding increasingly bizarre items to various online shopping carts, only to abandon them moments later in a wave of indecision. A self-heating scarf? A cushion shaped like a giant slice of pizza? A bonsai tree trimming kit? His virtual carts were a chaotic museum of failed suggestions. Defeated, he tossed his phone onto the cushion beside him. Online shopping was a bust. It felt impersonal, and the sheer volume of choice was paralyzing. Maybe he needed a different approach. Human interaction. Yes, that was it. He'd ask their mutual friend Mark for ideas. Mark was Mark. Enthusiastic, full of opinions, though not always helpful ones. Alex dialed his number. "Mark, buddy, I need your genius brain." Alex started, trying to sound casual. "Alex, my man, what crisis requires my unparalleled intellect today?" Mark boomed through the phone. Mark always spoke as if addressing a large stadium. "It's Sarah's birthday next week, and I'm drawing a total blank on gift ideas. You know her pretty well. Any suggestions?" There was a pause, filled only by the sound of what Alex assumed was Mark chewing something loudly. "Sarah. Right. Great girl. Lovesy stuff. Helpful, Mark. Really insightful," Alex deadpanned. Okay, let me think," Mark said, the chewing sounds intensifying. "How about a singing fish? You know, one of those ones you hang on the wall. Classic." Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. "Mark, I don't think Sarah's aesthetic quite aligns with singing plastic fish." Okay. Point taken. How about a really, really big hat? Like ridiculously oversized. Funny, right? Where would she even wear a ridiculously oversized hat? Alex asked, picturing Sarah trying to navigate doorways. Anywhere. It's a statement piece, Mark declared confidently. Or, what about a framed picture of me? Alex sighed. Mark, while I appreciate your creativity, I think I need ideas that are slightly more centered around Sarah. Fine. Be boring, Mark grumbled. Just get her a gift card then, can't go wrong with a gift card. Alex thanked Mark for his help and hung up, feeling even more lost than before. A gift card felt like admitting defeat. A white flag waved in the face of the perfect gift mission. It wasn't thoughtful. It was generic. No, he had to do better. Plan C. Operation Physical Shopping. He decided to brave the mall. Maybe inspiration would strike him amidst the fluorescent lights and endless displays. He put on his determined shopper face, which mostly looked like his mildly constipated face, and headed out. The mall was, as expected, a sensory overload. Music blared from different stores. People bustled past, and the air smelled faintly of cinnamon pretzels and perfume. Alex wandered aimlessly at first, feeling small and insignificant in the face of rampant consumerism. He drifted into a shop, filled with quirky gadgets and novelty items. It smelled like plastic and desperation. He picked up a desktop punching bag for stress relief. Maybe he needed this more than Sarah did. He saw a mug that said, "World's okayest friend." Funny, but maybe a bit too honest. He spotted a miniature Zen garden. Perhaps Sarah needed more calm in her life. He imagined her carefully raking the tiny patch of sand and decided it was more likely to gather dust or be accidentally inhaled by one of her hypothetical, non-existent cats. Nothing felt right. Everything felt forced. He moved on to a department store. Surely they'd have something sophisticated and perfect. He examined scarves, too many colors, candles, What scent did she even like? Vanilla, ocean breeze, aggressively floral, and fancy pens. Did anyone under 60 get excited about pens anymore? He lingered by the jewelry counter admiring delicate necklaces, but the prices made his wallet weep silently in his pocket. Besides, choosing jewelry felt incredibly personal. What if he picked something she hated, but felt obliged to wear? The potential for awkwardness was too high. This struggle was real. Feeling increasingly desperate, Alex found himself in the homewares section. Maybe something practical? A nice set of tea towels? A stylish fruit bowl? He picked up a sleek minimalist vase. It was nice. Elegant even. But was it Sarah? He tried to picture it in her apartment, nestled amongst her colorful cushions and slightly chaotic bookshelves. It looked out of place, too cold, too impersonal. He put the vase back. Practical gifts often lacked that spark, that thoughtful touch he was aiming for. He left the mall feeling dejected. His feet hurt, his head ached, and he was no closer to finding the perfect gift. He'd spent hours searching, considering countless options, and all he had to show for it was a profound sense of failure and a lingering craving for a cinnamon pretzel. Walking home, head down, he almost bumped into a small, colorful shop tucked between a dry cleaner and a bookstore. It had a whimsical sign that read, "The Curious Magpie. Found treasures and odd delights." He hesitated. It looked like the kind of place that might sell singing fish, but he was out of ideas. What did he have to lose? He pushed open the door, a little bell jingling cheerfully above him. The inside was eclectic. It was crammed floor to ceiling with interesting objects, but unlike the novelty store, these felt curated, chosen with care. There were vintage board games, handmade ceramics, colorful textiles, antique maps, and shelves filled with peculiar little boxes and jars. It smelled like old paper, beeswax, and something vaguely spicy. Behind a counter piled high with books sat an elderly woman with bright, intelligent eyes and silver hair twisted into an intricate bun. "Can I help you find something, dear?" she asked, her voice soft and kind. Alex felt a bit foolish. I'm looking for a gift for my friend," he mumbled. "Her birthday is soon, and I'm having trouble finding something." "Right." The woman smiled gently. "Ah, the quest for the perfect gift. A noble, if often frustrating mission. Tell me about your friend. Not just what she likes, but who she is." Alex paused. That was a different question. He didn't just list hobbies. He thought about Sarah. "She's kind," he began slowly. "Really genuine. She's funny, smart, a little bit nerdy in the best way. She loves books and old movies, and she gets incredibly excited about trying new kinds of tea. She's curious about the world. She's thoughtful. She always remembers little things." As he spoke, he wandered deeper into the shop, his eyes scanning the shelves. He passed by wind chimes made of sea glass, intricate puzzles, and journals with beautiful covers. And then, tucked away on a lower shelf, he saw it. A small, beautifully illustrated book titled, "A Compendium of Curious Teas." It wasn't just a recipe book. It looked like a collection of stories and histories about different, unusual tea blends from around the world, complete with botanical drawings. He remembered a conversation they'd had months ago, sitting in a tiny cafe. where Sarah had wistfully mentioned how she wished she knew more about the origins of the strange, smoky tea they were trying. She'd been fascinated by the idea of teas with histories. He picked up the book. The cover felt nice beneath his fingers. He flipped through the pages, seeing chapters on Lapsang Saochong, Pu'er, Genmaicha, even obscure herbal infusions he'd never heard of. It felt right. It wasn't flashy or expensive. It wasn't a generic placeholder. It connected to a specific memory, a shared interest, her curiosity. It felt thoughtful. It felt like Sarah. "I think," Alex said, turning back to the woman, a slow smile spreading across his face. "I think I might have found it." The woman's eyes twinkled. "Sometimes the best gifts aren't the loudest or the shiniest. They're the ones that whisper, 'I was listening.'" Alex bought the book, feeling lighter than he had all week. He even decided to stop at a specialty food store and find one of the more unusual teas mentioned in the book, a flowering jasmine tea he knew she'd find delightful. He carefully wrapped the book in simple brown paper, tied it with a green ribbon, her favorite color, and wrote a card, not just signing his name, but mentioning the conversation they'd had at the cafe. On Friday evening, Alex arrived at Sarah's apartment, the small package feeling warm in his hands. He still felt a flicker of nervousness, that old "what if she hates it" panic, but it was overshadowed by a quiet confidence. Sarah opened the door, beaming. "Alex, you made it!" After hugs and greetings, the moment arrived. He handed her the gift. "Happy birthday, Sarah." She took the package, her eyes curious. She carefully untied the ribbon and peeled back the paper. When she saw the book, her eyes widened. She let out a small gasp. "Alex, a compendium of curious teas?" She looked up at him, her smile wide and absolutely genuine. "How did you... Remember I wanted to learn more about weird teas?" She opened the book, her fingers tracing the illustrations. "And flowering jasmine tea. I read about this in the book already," she exclaimed, holding up the small tin he'd included. This is incredibly thoughtful. Thank you. It's perfect." Alex felt a warmth spread through his chest, chasing away the last remnants of his gift-giving anxiety. It wasn't the relief of the mission being over. It was the simple joy of seeing his friend happy, of knowing he'd found something that truly resonated with her. It wasn't about the price tag or the wow factor. It was about listening, remembering, and showing you care. The struggle had been worth it. He finally understood. The perfect gift wasn't an object, it was a reflection of the friendship itself. And there you have it. Alex survived the great gift quest. See? Sometimes the most thoughtful presents come from simply paying attention to the little things. That whole struggle and panic? Totally relatable, wasn't it? What did you think of Alex's adventure? What's the hardest gift you've ever had to buy? Let me know in the comments below. I love reading your stories. If you enjoyed learning English with us today and found this story helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends who might be learning English, too. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to Story Driven English for more fun stories every week. Your support really helps the channel grow. Before you go, here's a quick look at some key vocabulary we heard repeated throughout the story. Try to use them this week. Key vocabulary, repeated throughout. Panic, noun verb, a sudden, overwhelming feeling of fear or anxiety. Alex felt panic about the birthday. Perfect adjective. Exactly right for a particular purpose or situation, without fault. Alex wanted the perfect gift. Consider, verb. To think carefully about something, especially before making a decision. Alex considered many gift ideas. Struggle. Noun, verb. A difficult effort or task. To try very hard to do something difficult. The gift selection was a real struggle. Thoughtful. Adjective. Showing consideration for the needs or feelings of other people. Carefully considered. He wanted a thoughtful gift. Unique. Adjective. Being the only one of its kind. Unlike anything. So he searched for a unique present. Genuine. Adjective. Truly what something is said to be, authentic, sincere. Sarah gave a genuine smile. Overwhelmed. Adjective. Feeling like you have too much to deal with. Feeling defeated by too much information or work. Alex felt overwhelmed by the online choices. Suggestion. Noun. An idea or plan put forward. For consideration. Mark gave some strange suggestions. Ridiculous. Adjective. Silly or unreasonable. Deserving to be laughed at. A singing fish seemed ridiculous. Mission. Noun. An important assignment or task, often involving difficulty. Finding the gift felt like a mission. Browse. Verb. To look through items for sale or information, often in a casual way. He browsed online and in stores. Disaster. Noun. An event resulting in great harm, damage, or failure. His DIY gift. Attempt could have been a disaster. Though this specific word wasn't heavily used in the final version, it fits the theme of potential failures. Self-correction. Added a note as disaster, wasn't explicitly used heavily in the narrative provided, but is relevant to the gift-finding theme. Epiphany. Noun. A moment of sudden realization or insight. Alex had an epiphany when he remembered the tea conversation, also implied rather than stated, but key. Self-correction. Similar note as above, relieved. Adjective. No longer feeling distressed or anxious. Reassured. Alex felt relieved when Sarah loved the gift. Thanks so much for watching Story-Driven English. Keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next story. Bye for now.